So I thought it would be cool to have an awesome demo application to kind of christen and launch the Go SDK version 1. And what I came up with was something kind of interesting where we can use the live transcription client and hopefully do something in an interesting way that might spawn and spark some curiosity and also might spark some interest in other people creating applications to do some really cool things out there in the community. There's a new repo in the DeepGram devs org. From there, you can go to Virtual Assistant, and this repo is public and it's out there. I've literally just pushed the first release, the V010, for the virtual assistance project here, and you can look at the README here. Demo that I have is a kind of like a virtual scribe or virtual transcriber type application. So it'll do dictation. You can talk into your microphone on your laptop. It will go ahead and do all of the transcription from what you're saying into your microphone. And then you can do some interesting commands, like you can pause the transcription so that if you wanted to take a phone call or do something else, then you can unpause and continue doing the transcription. So you have your virtual transcriber, continue to do the transcription. And then when you're finished with the note that you're kind of creating and transcribing, tell the virtual assistant to send the email. And it will send an email based on the configuration of a config file within the directory that you're running the virtual assistant in. So without any further ado, I thought it would be really cool to go ahead and demonstrate this cool virtual assistant, which is like the first open source project that we're building in-house to kind of showcase the Go SDK. So if you clone the repo, you can go ahead and you can see the virtual assistant source code right here. Structure is typically like your normal Go project. You have all the packages in the packages folder and all the command line or utilities or binaries that you actually execute in the CMD folder. So if we go into the CMD folder, go into bin, which is our binaries that can be generated in this project. You'll see that there's dictation. So this is the virtual dictation assistant or the scribe, virtual scribe application. So if you go into dictation here, you'll see a number of things. The first thing you want to do is to configure your own JSON file. So this is going to have things such as the email address that you're sending from, the email address you want to send it to, the subject of the email, and then, because we're using SMTP to send the email locally, you're going to need a valid SMTP server. You can stand it up yourself, or you can use the one that's provided by your ISP. There's going to be an address, port, username, and password associated with it. And there's also a template.html, which if you wanted to go ahead and override what the contents of the email is going to look like. I've just provided something very simple just to demonstrate the capabilities. For every line transcribed, you're going to get it printed on a new line within the email. So having said that, let's go ahead and run the virtual dictation assistant. To run the assistant, it's fairly simple. You just do go run cmd.go. Testing 1, 2, 3. My name is David. I work at DeepGram. Pause. So this just demonstrates the capability that I can pause the transcription and it's not going to transcribe anything that I'm saying right now. Resume. But I do want you to take note of what I'm saying now. Then when I'm finished, I'm just going to do send email. And if we go ahead and take a look at my email, you'll see that the transcription is right there. And it's exactly what I said. So testing 1, 2, 3. My name is David. I work at DeepGram. Remember, I did the pause, so it didn't transcribe any of that. And I said, but I do want you to take note of what I'm saying right now. So pretty cool. The code for this is actually extremely simple because it's making use of the Open Virtual Assistant framework. I've set a link to it here. You can read and learn more about it. The upshot of it is it's using the DeepGram transcription platform to do the transcription of what I'm saying. And I'm also using the transcription to run and execute the commands like the pause and unpause. If you really look at it and boil this down, if you walk through my previous demo where I go and take a tour of the Go SDK, the code looks eerily similar to the microphone real-time live streaming client example. We take a look at the code, which we see right here. This is in the Open Virtual Assistant framework. We initiate a mic, set the live transcription options, create the live client, and start the mic, connect to the WebSocket, and then just feed in the client into the microphone stream. And this sends the microphone audio to get transcription, which then I just hooked in a really cool SMTP client into the virtual assistant. To see the code for that, it's pretty actually straightforward. If you go to package dictation in the virtual assistant repo in the DeepGram devs org, you can literally see the code here. It's really not that many lines of code to do all of this stuff. Some stuff to configure the virtual assistant framework. We do some SMTP magic. This is where we're actually doing the transcription, where we're getting the reply from the DeepGram platform with all the transcription messages. This is where you can see where I'm intercepting certain things, keywords, to do the pause, resume, and send email. And then we're just taking note of all the things that are being said so that we can send all that off in an email. And there's the code for the email. And it is literally that simple. I hope you enjoyed the demo.